very toxic.
Y'all gonna hate us.
I feel.
Oh my god, there's a fly. How did I get in here?
Harem. And I really feel like comedy is a dying craft because you can't joke around with anyone.
Won't you say my name, say my name? If you claim you want me, it ain't no whip.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Tara.
I'm Ngozi.
And we're about to be doing an unpopular opinions video. So we wanted to do this for a while. Like I feel like these videos are like all over YouTube. And I actually like the trend, but I kind of feel like they're not really
unpopular. A lot of them are
Yeah.
unpopular. I feel like we have a lot of unpopular opinions in ours.
Yeah, like actual unpopular opinions. But trigger warning, okay? If you get offended easily, if you don't like people having a different opinion than yours, this is not the video for you. Stay. But
Nothing's out of pocket, but like, yeah.
And I feel like you can still like someone and not agree with them.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off light. My first one is watermelon isn't that good. And I know the black people are gonna come for me. I'm sorry, it's plain. Like
Watermelon is the best fruit out there. I don't know what she's talking about. Watermelon is sweet. You've been eating the wrong watermelons. If you eat the watermelons that are like red, like juicy, not those pink watermelons. It has to be red and juicy. They're wrong.
our society is way too sensitive. Cancel culture is very toxic. Like,
Y'all gonna hate us.
so I'm new to the Twitter world, so I didn't know how prominent cancel culture was on Twitter until like 2 weeks ago when I downloaded the app. And I'm like, one thing a celebrity says, like some things they say aren't even out of pocket and they're canceled. So I'm just like, what? And I feel,
Oh my god, there's a fly. How did I get in here? How? No.
harem.
Got him!
I just feel like people pick and choose who to cancel. Like, people are canceling B. Simone. I mean, plagiarizing isn't good, I understand that, but to cancel her, and people aren't canceling Doja Cat. They say they're canceling Doja Cat, but they really aren't. She does not like being black. I don't care, she doesn't. I really feel that way. So I'm like, people pick and choose who to cancel. And I know there's some things celebrities say that we agree on, but we will never like say that in public because we don't want to get canceled. Obviously, there's some things people say that 100% need to be canceled, but I don't believe everything a celebrity says should get canceled for, basically.
So my first unpopular opinion is Brussels sprouts are amazing. I know y'all be hating on vegetables. First of all, like, you guys need to be eating vegetables. It's not just crab legs. I love crab legs, but it's not just crab legs. Like, you gotta actually eat your vegetables if you want to live a long life. So I love Brussels sprouts. I think the people that don't like it, they haven't had it cooked the right way. If you have it roasted with some good salt and pepper, or you have it boiled with salt, ooh, tastes amazing. I literally love Brussels sprouts. If you don't like them, you haven't tried mine. Try mine. Well, you
I never had Brussels sprouts, so I'm not gonna even comment.
Exactly.
So my next unpopular opinion, I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna agree with me, but you don't have to talk to your friends every day, like 24/7. We're very low maintenance friends. Like, you don't have to text me every single day. You don't have to call me every day. You don't have to check up on me every day. Like, I feel like if you guys are really good friends, you should already know the impact you have on your life, and you shouldn't have to call them, text them, FaceTime them every day to justify that. And I hate people that feel some type of way. If you go like a couple days without talking to them, they're just like, oh, you haven't hit me up. You haven't hit me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. But basically, like, my closest friends, we don't talk every day, but they're still my closest friends and they know that. So
yeah, I feel like it should be more natural. Like, if you naturally just talk every day, like, you're just texting about stuff, or like, I feel like, yeah, I send all my friends like TikToks and like tweets like every day, but I mean, like, in terms of FaceTime, like, I feel like you don't have to like be FaceTime and calling every single day, like, because sometimes you just need your own alone time. But I mean, every friendship is different. Like, that's just how we are. But I mean, I know some people like to talk to their friends every day, which is fine. My next unpopular opinion is I think tall guys should be reserved for tall girls.
period.
Like, how are you like 4'11" you saying I want a guy that's 6 feet and above? If you're not 6 feet, you can't be with me. What are you talking about? 6 feet to you is like 5'6". Like, I don't understand.
Humble yourself.
Humble yourself. Like, I don't understand why girls who are really short are taking our tall guys. I mean, I'm not like super tall, but I feel like we're on the taller
end of this day.
Yeah, like, so I feel like I mean, there's girls way taller than us, and I feel like they should be reserved for them. I feel like short guys don't get any love because at the end of the day, a short guy to us is gonna be tall to a 4'11", you know, girl. So I feel like it's all relative, and for people to just be hopping on the 6-foot trend, like, that's for us. Please, that's for me.
My next unpopular opinion is onions are good. Like, people hate on onions, but I really feel like onions bring flavor to any meal. Like, especially if you live in an African household, almost every meal requires onions. Like,
onions is the foundation of
a meal.
If you don't like onions, I feel like you don't cook. Like, which is fine. Like, that's okay. That's okay with you. But I cook, and you need to start with onions. Like, you saute them, bring out the flavor, then you add everything else. A lot of times you can't even taste it.
I personally don't think it's a debate. Like, onions bring flavor to a meal, and that's that.
Yeah, that's on that. Okay, so my next unpopular opinion is that I feel like Thanksgiving food should be food that you don't usually eat on your regular day basis. Like, obviously, I mean, we're Nigerians, so it's different, and obviously, you know, you're gonna have some things that you usually eat, but I feel like if you're just eating like your regular dinners in bigger portion, like, what's the point? Like, we have certain, at least in our culture, we have certain foods you don't cook unless it's a big celebration, someone's birthday, a holiday, you know what I mean? So like on Thanksgiving, I'm like, oh, I know I'm about to be like feasting on that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like looking forward to it. Meat pie, what else? There's suya, like, you know, things that you don't eat every day. Like, I'm not about to eat rice and stew. If you're Nigerian, you know what I'm talking about. You're not about to be eating rice and stew on Thanksgiving.
No.
Like, come on. So I feel like Thanksgiving should be reserved for the things that you don't usually eat.
So my next unpopular opinion is guac is delicious and avocado is disgusting. People always come at me, but they don't taste the same. Like, guac, you put different things in it, but avocado is just so plain and bland. I don't like it at all.
I mean, I can see what she means, but I feel like avocado is still good. It's not as good as guac, but avocado is still good in my opinion. My next unpopular opinion is pretty self-explanatory. Dunkin' Donuts is better than Starbucks. I don't know who, like, Starbucks, literally, their coffee tastes like bitter. It tastes like so bland and so dull. It's too strong. I really don't like it, and it's mad confusing. Like, people come like, can I have an iced venti latte with a shot of espresso and a shot of almond? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, sis. Like, it's just too complicated, and like, I feel like there's a lot of like good drinks that aren't on the actual menu. Like, I don't know. Dunkin' Donuts is simple. Can I have a medium caramel iced coffee with cream and sugar? Period.
Unbiased. I worked at Starbucks for 3 years, so I don't agree with her statement, obviously. You just have to really know what you want. Like, don't be afraid.
Yeah, but the average person isn't gonna know.
That's what you have to taste test.
But ask them. How do I know what to taste test if I don't know what to order?
Get a nice coffee, just...
No, because it'd be like, you know, they're just like very specific like things that aren't on the menu. Like, the menu is actually very sparse, to be honest. Like, I have to, every time I go to Starbucks, I'm like looking up, you know, what to get. I'm texting my friends like, what did you get last time? Like, it's just too much. Dunkin' Donuts is simple.
Starbucks is something to get used to it, and once you do, it's...
And it's mad expensive.
No, it is mad expensive.
It's mad expensive for like a little, and also the sizes. Like, why can't you just say small, medium, large? Why is it venti, grande? Like, I just forget what I said. They're looking at me like, "What's your order? Like, what do you have?" Like,
I think that's just a bad experience. I was the nicest employee. Like,
10 bad experiences.
Yeah. My next unpopular opinion is I'd rather text instead of FaceTiming, and I just feel like if you're my close friend, this does not apply to you. Like, I don't care if you FaceTime me, but I'm talking about those random calls where you could have just texted me, you FaceTime me. It's just, you never know what I'm doing. At night, I have my face mask on. I can be in the bathroom. It's just like, I like to be prepared for like my FaceTime calls that I'm not close with. At least give me a warning, at least. But like, I have friends who just call me. I'm just like, and I feel bad for ignoring, especially if I just posted, so they know I'm on my phone. So, and like, I don't know how to bring that up to them. I text a lot too. Like, you can send me a paragraph, I read the whole thing.
Exactly.
I reply to every part. Like, I'm completely fine with texting. Exactly.
At night, like, that's my me time. I'd be like washing my hair, or I'm really close to my family, so sometimes I'm talking to my family. If we're like best friends, like, you don't have to be like, can I book an appointment, please? No. But I feel like if we haven't talked in a while, just like, hey, are you busy? Like,
you wouldn't just go to someone's house without telling them. Like, just show up at their door. Think of FaceTiming this. I mean, that's a little extreme, but that's the same analogy.
Kind of
yeah, and it would be something so minor. I'm like, you could have texted me this. My next unpopular opinion is mint ice cream I'm very passionate about this because it's so disgusting, and I truly believe if you like mint ice cream, I think you like to eat toothpaste.
Well, I guess I like to eat toothpaste.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because mint ice cream is so good. It's refreshing, and then the chocolate chips just be like, it's good. It's not really, I don't have to explain it. It's really good. I don't know what's wrong with her.
No.
So my next unpopular opinion is I think chicken sandwiches over burgers at the end of the day, unless it's Five Guys. Five Guys is an exception, but I feel like chicken tenders are just a lot more crunchy and it has a lot more variations, but I feel like a burger is just a burger. Like I think that there's definitely a lot of cancel worthy things, but I think it's like, one, do we really have the power to cancel? Because at the end of the day, yes, we are the consumers that give these celebrities their platform and give these influencers, whatever you want to call them, their, you know, their clout or their fame and their jobs. Like we pay them technically. But I do think that, you know, technically, I mean, if you choose to go online, you have a certain responsibility for sure. But I do think there's certain things that we say, you know, or that we do that the celebrities also do, but they get canceled for. But I do think that if we're gonna cancel people, okay, if society's gonna cancel people, I think we should keep that same energy with every person. I feel like nobody actually canceled. We're canceling B. Simone, but she has millions of followers still. Canceling Doja Cat, which she should be canceled.
I looked at her following count when it started, like the whole thing started, and now it's the same.
Yeah.
People probably unfollowed her, but not enough to make a difference.
Exactly. So I just feel like, if we're really gonna cancel people, like take your money out of those things. Stop buying their products, stop keeping up with their lives. Because I feel like if you really want to cancel someone, you should do it. Like if you feel like someone's cancel worthy, we should definitely cancel them. But I feel like we need to make sure that canceling doesn't just become like a word.
Don't make it a trend, basically, just to cancel anyone.
Mm-hmm. Like if we just keep saying we're gonna cancel someone and we don't cancel them, then the word cancel is losing its power, to be honest. So whether you agree with cancel culture or not, I mean, I don't really know how I feel about cancel culture, but I think that if you're going to cancel people, like actually do it.
Just keep that energy that you're saying. Just do it. Cancel them. So my next unpopular opinion, I feel like this might be sensitive to some viewers. I don't know, but I believe that if you're white, you have white privilege. And I'm not saying that all white people have amazing lives, because there's probably white people that my life is better than, and I understand that. And I'm not talking about your socioeconomic class when I say like you have white privilege. I'm talking about your literal skin color. Because if you get stopped by the police, you're probably scared, okay, maybe I can get arrested. Whereas we're scared that we can literally die and not make it back home. So that's what I mean by white privilege. I am not at all talking about your socioeconomic class. I'm literally talking about the color of your skin. It's kind of like a shield for you guys. Like it protects you guys. Like if a police officer saw a group of white people and a group of black people, not all police officers may think like this, but I'm pretty sure they'll be more inclined to stop the black group because our skin's darker. And like I honestly feel like some people associate dark skin with being bad, which I don't know why. It's just deep-rooted racism, but that's how I feel.
It's also the system too. You get protected from implicit bias a lot of times, but also you get protected from I saw this tweet. It said like even if there was not one racist white person on this earth right now, systematic racism would still exist because the system literally is racist. Like if you do your research and you I feel like people like to talk on Twitter and stuff like that, but nobody actually does their research. Like if you do your own research, you'll see like literally the foundations of a lot of these systems that we are part of or that we are under literally were made by racists, and they were made for to be against black people. So at the end of the day, we're not saying your life has never been hard if you're white. It's more like your life is not hard because of your skin color. Where for some people of color, let me be specific, black people, their life, a lot of their problems could be also because they're black. So you could have two people, one is white, one's black. They could both be poor, but the black person is gonna have a harder time because of their skin color. So
I'm not only talking about police officers, I'm talking about jobs. Like I'm pretty sure that a white person and a black person, the white person would get the job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the black person to get the job. I feel like they have to be perfect. Like they have to have straight hair. They can't wear their natural hair, or like natural hair is seen as bad in the unprofessional in the real world. So I don't know. I just feel like sometimes it's really hard I feel like America doesn't accept the true form of a black person.
So my next unpopular opinion is I feel like we cut off, and we're all kind of guilty of this, I feel like we cut off our female friends for things that we wouldn't cut off males for. Like not your male friends, your significant other or whoever he is in your life. Like I feel like we're easy, to cut off a girl from like a simple misunderstanding, like a female friend. you know, one small thing, a lot of times, like, we just don't, like, forgive each other. We can't get past it when it comes to, like, our female friendships. But when it comes to a guy or significant others, I've seen with other people where, like, they just keep taking him back, like, everything he does, even he could literally do 10 times worse than your best friend or your female friend did, and you will take him back over and over and over again. And I just never understood that attachment that people get with their significant others, that I can tell when they have their female friends, they're cutting off, cut it. They're cutting off everybody in their life, but they can't cut off that one toxic person that is ruining everything. So that's my public opinion.
Jordan Woods, Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson. On the Shade Room, they're back together apparently. Like, if you're gonna cut off Jordan Woods, I'm not saying cut off Tristan Thompson because that's obviously your baby father, but why are you getting back with him? Like, keep that same energy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is actually one of my favorite unpopular opinions, the ones I'm about to say, but I believe that if the goal isn't, so in a relationship, if the goal isn't to get married, then why are you guys together? I feel like, especially girls our age, they just, like, date for fun. They may not see a future with the person, but they're just okay, like, whatever, I'm bored, I'm gonna date you. But I'm just like, why waste your time? At least he should be a potential. I'm not saying marry, because maybe marry is a little bit extreme, but you should be able to see a future with the person. And I saw a quote, so I'm gonna look at my phone and read it, but it said, if marriage isn't the goal, then why are you dating? That's like working a job and saying you don't want benefits and a retirement plan. And I agree, like, you would never just get a job and just work that whole job your whole entire life. Obviously, by the time you leave your job, you're gonna want to get a retirement plan. You should have that same energy when you're looking for a relationship. There should be some, I'm not saying marriage, because not everyone believes in marriage, but at least you see this person long term, not a month, 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the counter argument is that sometimes, you know, people are just in your life to experience, which makes sense.
Sure.
Like, we're not saying that everyone you meet should be the one, because that's bound to not happen. Just like, if you're going into the relationship with no goal, you're dating to break up. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're really dating to break up. Next unpopular opinion is, okay, I kind of feel like social media and music in general is way too overly sexualized now. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, you could just turn on the radio and you just hear, like, I feel like I'm scared to, like, turn on the radio when I'm with my parents or with my little siblings. I'm just like, what are they gonna say? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, I remember on my way to school in high school, like, we turn on the radio and then just start talking about, like, really, really sexual things. We had to shut it off. Then we changed the next channel. We changed the station, and then they would also be talking about, like, sexual things. I understand that, you know, we are coming from a time where people's sexuality was suppressed and people weren't allowed to be sexual beings. But I just think that, like, you know, it's kind of like trickling into our youth with social media, and I feel like we're not letting kids be kids. A lot of kids are like, oh, should I be doing that at this age? Everyone else is doing it. See the social media, listen to songs, and it's like literally describing everything that has to do with the deed. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep the PG on this.
Kids are 12 throwing it back on TikTok.
Yeah,
I was doing the dab at 12. Like,
yeah, I wasn't even on social media at 12. So, and I understand, like, society's changing in terms of, like, younger people are going to be on social media, but that's why I think it should be a little less sexualized, where there should be just a section for adults. And I also feel like music is very misogynistic. Like, I know female rappers are starting to get up there and, you know, start talking about, you know, what they want to talk about, but I just feel like if you just, like, sit down one time and just listen to what, and I'm guilty, I listen to these songs too, but if you just sit down and listen to the words some of these rappers are saying, like, it's actually really bad and really gross. You are all gonna hate me for this one. Every single one of you is gonna be angry, so this is a trigger warning. I feel like we've taken the trend of horoscopes and zodiac signs a little too far. Hear me out. It's gotten so extreme where it's just like, we don't talk to people because they're a Gemini, or we don't talk to people because they're a Scorpio. Like, to not give someone a chance, or not to talk to someone, or not be their friend, or be like, oh, okay, she was rude to you, it makes sense because she's a Scorpio, or it makes sense because she's a Leo. No, people are like, you don't know your earth sign, you don't know your rising, you don't know your sun sign. And I'm like, I know. Like, I feel like you shouldn't stop being someone's friend because they're Leo, or because they're Cancer, or they're Capricorn.
I had someone say, oh, you don't act like a Scorpio. I was like, how is a Scorpio?
Exactly.
Like, there's some things that are true, don't get me wrong, but you shouldn't base someone's character because of their sign. So my last unpopular opinion is, I feel as though some Black men use the word preference to disguise their internalized colorism. I strongly believe that, because it's okay to have a preference. Saying I like someone with short hair or saying I like someone with long hair, that's a preference. But saying, oh, she's too dark, but it's my preference. People say that so they don't sound like a colorist. You can like whoever you like, but I feel like a lot of men put down another race and bring up the other. Like, why can't you just be like, oh, I don't like her, but they're still popping? It doesn't make sense.
You don't even have to say dark skins are popping. All you could say is, I like light skins because I like light skins. A lot of people, I'll ask, okay, why do you like light skins? They can't give you one reason. It's because they don't like dark skins that they like light skins. I feel like it's like a double negative type of thing, where it's like, the only reason I like light skins is because I really don't like dark skins. And I do feel like society doesn't realize the same reasons why other girls that aren't black are obsessed with dark-skinned men are the same reasons why people don't like dark-skinned girls, because dark skin is associated with masculinity, it's associated with strength, and you know, everybody wants a soft feminine girl. So if a girl has dark skin, they are associated with masculinity and strength, which are okay, but they don't want that in their female, which is why, you know, they like light skins, because it seems more soft, frail. And this is like historical. This goes all the way back to slavery. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun filming this. Tell us your unpopular opinions. Tell us if you agree or disagree with ours. It's okay. We're not gonna be hurt. It's alright. So tell us if you disagree or agree. Comment, like, subscribe. Share this video.
Share, tell a friend.
Share this video. And we have a lot more content like this. We're gonna have a part 2 of this video, so check it out. The part 2 is going to be linked in the description box, so please stay tuned for the part 2 of this video. And
thank you so much for watching.
Yes, we'll see you in our next video. Bye.
Got it.